Let's think of the rise and fall of each civilization as a quarter put in the eons old arcade game of life. Really, quite a dusty old thing. A game with only one goal to reach eternity. Each quarter is another life. Some lives are shorter than others. Some achieve great things. Some even help to give us the microwave oven. But none have made it to that coveted goal. And now, it's this quarter's turn. Let's boot up this game, shall we? However, we do have a leg up over the rest of those guys who have tried before, because we, now more than ever, have the experience and the scientific know-how to get there. Science, magic, whatever you want to call it, we can get to space, basically. Now, we want to get to space because space will be the key to cheating the game of life into giving us eternity. Oh, what's that? You want to know how this will all work? Oh, silly me, I should have told you earlier. First think back to all the great leaps in exploration. These all occurred because of the human drive to explore and find new things. Each new place brought new challenges, new resources, and new dangers. The greatest leaps came with the greatest dangers. The same will be true for space. Beyond the sheer inhospitability of 1 over 10 to the 50th power of space out there, past the radiation, and even ignoring the constant worry of a fleck of paint traveling at tens of thousands of miles per hour killing you, the biggest problem is how goddamn big space is. Oh, we have traveled a fair bit into space, and we have landed on an entire other celestial body, namely the moon with the Apollo missions. But even the massive distance covered by those brave men is such an impressively small part of the solar system, which in turn is such an impressively small part of the galaxy, which in turn is such an impressively small part of yada yada yada, you get the picture. The map of this game is quite large, like a certain other game based around space, not naming names here. Space is so big that the energy needed to move the city-sized ships that we will build is going to be so astronomically high that it is comparable to the entire output of a goddamn star. Now, this can be done by more traditional in-game mechanics such as a Dyson sphere, but if there is a way to, I don't know, exploit the universe's code in such a way as to gain infinite energy or nearly infinite, well, then the fun part of this game can begin. Now, let's set up this first exploit. First, we need a spinning black hole. And then, you fire an electromagnetic wave into the space around it. And that's it. You win. Congratulations. Some very smart hackers and data miners, or as we call them, scientists and mathematicians, found out that those black holes can break the game's built-in physics engine and start to bend space and time around them to create waves. Now, this is where things get real wacky. You see, a wave can gain energy from other waves by a process called amplification. And if one had, I don't know, a way to reflect waves around a black hole like a simple mirror and gather that energy in a controlled manner, well, then simply you have what is almost infinite energy for billions of trillions of years. The material resources at this point won't be a problem because of how amazingly dense the universe is with stuff we can use. For example, there is one asteroid we have measured that has more gold than has been mined by the entirety of humankind. Great. Now we have the energy and the resources to do these amazing things. So why don't we? Well, quite simply, this game is a very hostile one. As mentioned earlier, the actual space that is inhabitable for us small, hairless apes is very, very, very small. So small, in fact, that livable space for humans might as well just be a bug in the code of the universe. Now, we can combat this by creating our own spaces to live, aptly enough, called spaceships. Great. Now we have the ships and the energy. But space has more mechanics built to screw us over, namely debuffs. Quite simple things for us to get around, such as literally breaking the mechanics in which the human body works. You see, us humans spec into an Earth-based playstyle, And when we go to space, the lack of planetoid mechanics, such as gravity, tends to kinda wreak havoc on our bones and muscles. Even worse is that space travel can mess with mitosis, the way our cells function to form new ones and repair the body. You know, nothing major. Thankfully, most of these problems can be solved by abusing the physics engine once more. That poor, poor physics engine. Basically, by spinning in large circles, the game thinks that the acceleration caused by that spinning is actually a planet's gravity. So all those debuffs that created by us going outside our normal play area are removed. These spaceships, built with the near limitless resources, powered by the almost infinite energy gathered earlier, and with ways to combat the ridiculous debuffs of space, must be able to take us to the very edge of the map. Right? Well, no. Sadly, with even the very best exploits and cheats, us humans can only get to the edge of the local cluster, a group of galaxies near us around 30 million light years across. Now, granted, this is still quite a massive, massive, massive area, but it's not nearly as big as the true scale of the map. You see, the game devs were quite clever when they made this game, because they didn't want anyone spawn camping outside of their starting area. So they made the space between each starting area move faster than even the fastest in-game thing, namely light. And even if we had ways to break the game even further and go faster than light, we still would not be able to get to those distant galaxies because of just how much space there is between them. So what now? Are we just stuck in this area of space, this backwater of the universe? Well, yeah, that's it. We're just going to stay here wandering about our local space until eternity comes rolling round. Okay, now take a step back from the arcade screen. This isn't a game. This is reality. Maybe not our reality right now, but in the far, far future, it will be. But for now, you just look up at the night sky and wonder what this game of life holds for us. Bye, y'all.